Hey, you dirty dogs. We're going to talk about Tom Brady. So, I put out a post on Facebook over a month ago, as you can see here, July 18th. Tom Brady wins first game on 9/11 versus the Cowboys, then goes 9-8 for the season, missing the playoffs. Bucks are toast. They aren't going undefeated. Cowboys over Broncos. All right, now I put this out going against my Cowboys that I have winning the Super Bowl now. And if anybody doesn't know, last year I had the Bucks over the Bills in the Super Bowl, and actually said before the season that the game would go into overtime. Well, they ended up meeting in the playoffs, and before the playoffs, and they went into overtime. So I was close, but they both came in second. Didn't make it to the conference champion. Didn't win the conference championship. I was on Brady missing the playoffs. Now, what seems pretty crazy is every time I'm on something, within a week or two later, ESPN is on it. I've been on the Cowboys. I know a lot of people are on the Cowboys every year. But if you haven't noticed, I was on the Cowboys way before ESPN has started hyping them almost every day. Just different Super Bowl stuff about Cowboys. I was on Texas A&M before those three offensive linemen got signed to Hooters or whatever they did. And I'm telling you, I'm on the Loyola Ramblers, which is kind of crazy. Loyola Chicago. I've got them. They got 150,000 odds to win, but I saw some numbers on them. So if you see some news stories on ESPN about those Ramblers, anything to do with championship, send it to me so I can decode it. Now here's a news story. Tom Brady, implosion coming. NFL gamblers betting big that Buccaneers will totally melt down this season. Are they watching my Facebook and deciding, whatever Aaron does, let's go ahead and throw a story out on it? Now, I did this a month and a half ago, saying he would miss the playoffs. All right? There's a 47 I think is pretty big, and he's on 47 playoff games. I think he's going to stay there. And I think he may go 9-8. So I'm calling it right now. I'm going to go right here and go 9-8, misses the playoffs. If he doesn't go 9-8, maybe he wins 9 games, loses 5, gets hurt, and is out of there. And then that 9-5 is basically telling a story about the Cowboys and the Broncos meeting, and their record is 5-9, 9-5. So I keep hitting pause, and then for some reason it doesn't pause. So I don't know if I missed some of my story. I think maybe I missed something whenever I was talking about the Loyola Ramblers. I've got them winning the NCAA basketball championship. They're 150,000 whatever odds. So I just saw some numbers on them. But why are they talking about Brady not making the playoffs? Saying that the most money in Vegas is on the Bucks actually not making the dang playoffs and having possibly the worst actual record, even though they got all those good players. You telling me the GOAT is going to go out like that? Now, I also, and I beg for you to find anybody that can predict what I predicted on Brady retiring and coming back. I called it before anybody. You find a date. I'll show you the date. So this is one of them, November 29th last year. I'm waiting for Brady to go ahead and win Super Bowl 56. Then Odell and Brady retire to the Cleveland Browns. Then beat the Rams in the Super Bowl 57. What's crazy is I also put out a news story about Odell Beckham. Before he went to the Rams, I said Odell Beckham is going to go to the Super Bowl contending team. And I thought it was going to be the Bucks or the Bills. Lo and behold, he went to the Rams. But this is not the earliest date. I got some in 2020. And that was why I thought there was a news title that said, let's go for it. And Brady, 56, I thought he was going to be eating Buffalo Bills. Here's October 18, 2021. I made a prediction before the season. Brady would win Super Bowl 55, which I did that back right before Super Bowl 54. I said that Brady was going to win Super Bowl 55. I actually said he was going to leave the Patriots, and I thought he was going to go to the Chargers, and I said he'd win. Oh, it's going further back. June 27th. Aaron Damas, Brady wins Super Bowl 56 versus the Bills, retires and or ends up on the Browns and wins Super Bowl 57 versus the Rams. And Rams, I saw something there for the Rams. Then after this, the Rams get Stafford, and then and they get Odell, and then they win. Right here, January 8, 2020. This is before Super Bowl 54. Tom Brady to the Chargers and Super Bowl 55. Never before mentioned in the news, but I called it before Super Bowl 54. Nobody was calling Brady to win the Super Bowl before Super Bowl 54, but this guy was. And I called it before he even got traded and before the Super Bowl even went down. I even said September 13, 2020, I'm not a Brady fan, but the Bucs are my team this year, winning it. And there's the news. Tom Brady, the Chargers, and Super Bowl 55, never before mentioned in the news. What's crazy is I love my cousin Eric. Says the guy who also said Tom Brady would be playing against Drew Brees in this year's final playoffs. I got him on that one, though, didn't I? So you could see here where I actually put out the news about Odell. November 12, 2021, before he was traded. Okay? I said 11/12/21. News came out 1 year, 3 months, and 1 day to Super Bowl 57 on 2/12/23. If Browns beat the Rams Super Bowl 57, I would have called it 2 years ahead of time. Spoke this before Super Bowl 55. 131 is championship. Here we have Beckham from the Browns to the Rams. Hint, well, I was wrong about what year, but Odell could still go to a team. Maybe he goes to the Cowboys. That would be nice. And this is where I had November 8, 2021, expecting Odell to go to Super Bowl 56. Contending team on 11/9. Bucks over Bills is my Super Bowl. He will be released. He was released on his birthday, 11/5. So look at those numbers. I called him going to the Super Bowl contending team. I didn't know he was going to go to the Rams, and I did not jump on the Rams right whenever he went there either. I was still blinded by the whole Brady craze, which this didn't help much. That 56 didn't help much. You know, that was they put out news to make you go after the stuff. They know stuff of, like, people like me are out there that are decoding the news, and they mock us. So, you know, they play around with us. They got to lead us astray. That's why a majority of the coding will all be on the wrong team. They probably watch too much TV and get brainwashed by the subconscious messages, the subliminal messages. And then whenever they are coding, they're getting stuff like this that are telling them. But what I've learned is you need to look at the span. As you notice, I just did stuff with the Odell Beckham Jr. I backed it up with gematria, but I also looked at the span, and the span equaled championship. Maybe he ends up on a championship contending team, Super Bowl 57 as well. Oh, that would be crazy. If Brady goes 9-5, I already had this in some of my screenshots. Flux capacitor, skull and bones, the Bush family. Look at all that. 76s and 202, 22s and 59s and 149. And how come I'm going to pick Texas A&M and all of a sudden Colin Cowherd drops his top 25 a few days later and puts my Texas A&M right in the middle. 13 is big for the underdog. They got like plus 2,500 odds to win, so, and they got Alabama in the same conference right ahead of them. Question for all of you: if Alabama beats Texas A&M in the regular season, and only one person can come out of that conference, if Texas A&M still goes undefeated after that game and only loses one game, say they go 11-1, and they're still ranked in the maybe the top 5 because they beat everybody else, would they still be able to be in the playoffs? That's a big one right there. Can they get voted in still and have 2 people from a conference get in there? Because I think that's what may go down, and they may end up running into Alabama again and whoop them. Kind of like a replay of last year when they did the same thing with Georgia. Got beat Georgia, and then Georgia beat them. November 16, 2021. This was when Georgia was ranked like number 1. And I said, Bryce Young wins Heisman. Bama wins the SEC title game. and Georgia wins the national championship over Bama. And all of that came true. Man, I wonder what the odds of that would have been. That would have been crazy. Now, off of sports, there's something still going on in Georgia that I think is going to happen. All right, all in Georgia. And this is where I put it out in March 3rd, before the Georgia Guidestones came out. The election issues, George Floyd protests, Georgia Guidestones, CDC headquarters are in Georgia. The Bull headquarters in Georgia. The Braves won the championship out of Georgia. National championship was Georgia. Biden's first Democrat to win Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia. The writing is on the wall. Something bigger is coming to Georgia. The next 9/11, something going down in Georgia or South Carolina. Trump PD speech, March 12th. So we saw the Georgia guy, and I had the Georgia Guidestones mentioned right here. And they went down on 7/6. Just a few months later. You know what? Let me look up the span that is that I did from this day. Well, you know what's crazy is with the date numerology, the day I actually posted that was 4 months and 4 days, or 126 days. Kobe Bryant died on 126. Number of the beast, 216, 6 times 6 times 6. 18 weeks. A day leaving 303 days left in the year on 3/3. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Skull and Bones. 332 233 322. The kind of Skull and Bones there, and then Skull and Bones equals 76, and George Bush, his birthday, he turned 76 on 7/6, and his name is George, and it deals with the Georgia Guidestones, and I post was about something happening in Georgia. So I just got a message on one of my videos. Tweedledee says, I think this is about the same date that the Chinese stock market is going to crash. Evergrande's default on $300 billion. They hold 90% of the mortgages in China. Yeah. China is on a steep slope down. I think Mexico is going to be the new China. So a safe investment might be the peso over the next 10, 15 years. They're 20-1 right now, and I think it's going to get closer to 1-1. But he thinks September 17th may be that day. Well, I'm going to holler at you. I gave you a whole bunch of garbage that y'all can connect. Hopefully I entertained you. Word.